Hello, YouTube. There's something weird going on in my game, but before I get to that, I guess I should introduce myself and the game. I'm an indie game developer who has been working in the industry for a little over 15 years now, and that means I've got a lot of knowledge built up so I can do some seriously tricky things. But in all those years, I've actually only published a handful of games and none of them under my own studio. So I've decided to create a game which is a fusion of retro arcade game Galaga and the smash hit indie game Vampire Survivors. I haven't really decided on a final name yet. Before a working title, I've decided to call the game Outer Bounds Ace Survival. So far, I've done quite a bit of work on the game, but there's still plenty more to do. The footage you've been watching comes directly from the game, so I'm sure you can probably tell it's still in the early development days. I'll give you that the footage isn't really anything all that impressive. It's just another shoot 'em up game, and you'd be right to a degree. Most of the twists in this game aren't implemented yet, but I have set up several systems that will help me create a more interesting experience. So how do you combine Galaga with Vampire Survivors? Since these games are essentially polar opposites of each other in respects to the base gameplay, I'll be taking elements of each game as well as a few of my own ideas to round out the game. So the first step for this project to become real is to create a game design document. This is possibly one of the most important parts of game creation, and over this past weekend I sat down and did just that. So as you can see, I've already created a game design document for my game. It's fairly simple and not overly detailed, and the area with the most information is the gameplay. That's the most important part of the game. So let's go over some of the basic systems from the game design document that I would like to implement for the final game. Firstly, I would like to create a mission system that is procedurally generated. By creating different types of missions, I can add a little spice to the game and give players new combinations to try out. Instead of every mission simply being about killing as many enemies as possible, what if there were missions where the player has to race to the finish, or avoid taking damage so they can deliver some goods? This will hopefully keep the game fresh and keep players coming back. After all, there are only so many builds you can try out in the same map before you get completely bored to death. As part of my mission system, I'll also have dynamic events that spawn like subquests and shops. These will help to further randomize each run, keeping even the same mission feeling fresh for longer periods of time. Basically, think about how Slay the Spire does its travel nodes, but in real time. Next, I want to create a robust customization feature that will serve a similar purpose to finding new items in Vampire Survivors. But this is where one of the unique twists comes in. When you get an item, you'll be given a choice to either install it immediately on your ship, which will discard any of the attachments for the same slot, or you can save it for later. If you save it for later, you'll still have to make it out of the mission alive, but once you do, the part will be unlocked for all future missions. This type of risk reward gameplay, I'm hoping, will elevate the game. Finally, I want a system to allow for meta progression, a system I'm calling Fleet Management, where the player gets to build out a modular base that unlocks powerful abilities for the future missions, as well as advancing the game's story. Now, I know this is a lot of work to do, and most developers will tell you that it's better to focus on a more concentrated feature set so you can polish it to the highest possible degree. But if I just make the 100th Vampire Survivors clone, why would you choose to play that? So yes, right now I'm making the commitment to add every single one of these features to my game, but not only that, to do every single one to the same level as if they were their own games. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, I want a game where the best build isn't just the same 3 items every single time. And secondly, I want every single mission to feel like a whole new experience. But I do realize that this means that I have a lot of work, so I guess I should get back to it. But before I go, if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to follow the game's progress. I plan to release at least one devlog per week. Oh, and if you haven't figured out what's wrong with the game yet, it's that I haven't even been playing it. The player's been on autopilot this whole time. Let me know if you figured that out in the comments below. And finally, to all those of you working on your own games, good luck.